Raiding, also known as depredation, is a military tactic or operational warfare mission which has a specific purpose. Raiders do not capture and hold a location, but quickly retreat to a previous defended position before enemy forces can respond in a coordinated manner or formulate a counterattack. A raiding group may consist of combatants specially trained in this tactic, such as commandos, or as a special mission assigned to any regular troops. Raids are often a standard tactic in irregular warfare, employed by warriors, guerrilla fighters or other irregular military forces. Some raids are large, for example the Sullivan expedition. The purposes of a raid may include: among many tribal societies, raiding was the most common and lethal form of warfare. Taking place at night, the goal was to catch the enemy sleeping to avoid casualties to the raiding party. Cattle raiding was a major feature of Irish society in the Iron Age and forms the central plot of the historical epic Táin Bó Cúailnge. The traditional habit of Bedouin tribes of raiding other tribes, caravans, or settlements is known in Arabic as Ghazou. Such activity was still noticed by J.S. Buckingham in 1820s Palestine, not only among nomadic Bedouin, but also among the nominally sedentary villages of Ariha, who left the little land cultivation he observed to women and children, while men spent most of their time riding through the plains and engaging in robbery and plunder. Their main and most profitable activity. The Islamic prophet Muhammad made frequent use of raiding tactics. His first use of raids was during the caravan raids, and his first successful raid was the Nakhla Raid. In January 624, Muhammad ordered this raid to attack a Quraysh caravan and gather information. During the invasion of the Amra, he ordered a raid on the Banu Muharib and Banu Talaba tribes after he received intelligence that they were allegedly going to raid the outskirts of Medina. One person was captured by Muslims during this raid. In August 627, he ordered the first raid on Banu Talaba, a tribe already aware of the impending attack. So they lay in wait for the Muslims. And when Muhammad ibn Maslama arrived at the site, 100 men of the Banu Talaba ambushed them, while the Muslims were making preparation to sleep, and after a brief resistance killed all of Muhammad ibn Maslama's men. Muhammad ibn Maslama pretended to be dead. A Muslim who happened to pass that way found him and assisted him to return to Medina. The raid was unsuccessful. Small-scale raiding warfare was common in Western European warfare of the Middle Ages. Much of a professional soldier's time could be spent in little war, carrying out raids or defending against them. Typical of this style of warfare was the mounted raid or chavchi. Popular during the 100 Years' War, chavchis varied in size from a few hundred men to armies of thousands, and could range in scope from attacks on nearby enemy areas to the devastation of whole regions, such as that carried out by the Black Prince in southern France in 1355. This last is notable not just for its success and scope but the fact that the raiders deliberately captured records in order to carry out a post-operational analysis of the impact of the raid on the enemy economy. The largest raids in history were the series undertaken during and following the Mongol invasion of Central Asia. Examples of lesser-scale raids include those staged by the Cossacks of the Zaporizhian Sech, the Grande Army, and cavalry raids that took place during the American Civil War such as Morgan's Raid, and numerous examples of small group raids behind enemy lines that have taken place throughout all periods of history. In the operational level of war, raids were the precursors in the development of the operational maneuver groups in the Soviet Army. As early as the 1930s, raiding by sea was known at the time of the pharaohs, when the shipborne forces of the sea peoples caused serious disruption to the economies of the Eastern Mediterranean. In the early Middle Ages, Viking raiders from Scandinavia attacked the British Isles, France and Spain, attacking coastal and riverside targets. Much Viking raiding was carried out as a private initiative with a few ships, usually to gain loot, but much larger fleets were also involved, often as intent on extorting protection money as looting and pillaging. Raiding did not cease with the decline of the Viking threat in the 11th century. It remained a common element of the medieval naval warfare. Extensive naval raiding was carried out by all sides during the Hundred Years' War, often involving privateers such as John Hawley of Dartmouth or the Castilian Peronino. In the Mediterranean, raiding using odd galleys was common throughout the Middle Ages and into the Renaissance and was particularly a feature of the wars between the Christian powers and the Ottoman Empire in the 16th century. Raiding formed a major component of English